She's, I don't know how to say it, she's pretty much a wild person.
This man is accused of holding a 14-year-old girl captive. In this interview filmed just hours before his trial, you're about to see him try to convince the host that the girl is an accomplice.
I mean, it was like she was on TV every time, and it was exciting. It was like a vacation for her. I mean, we were having a good time. I mean, no more school for her, you know, it was just hanging out.
The first question he asked her was whether or not she was a virgin. There are certain images, Your Honor, she told me she will never forget.
She could have went home anytime she wanted to.
He took this chain, put it around her neck, wrapped it around her neck.
Are you saying that she was a willing participant the whole time?
Yeah.
14-year-old Elizabeth Shove, kidnapped, assaulted, trapped for 10 days. But she escaped, outsmarting the man who took her. When she got out, she made sure Vincent Villial would never terrorize anyone else ever again.
We didn't save her, she saved herself.
In the small town of Lugoff, South Carolina, 14-year-old Elizabeth Shove lives with her family. She's excited about starting high school and a boy she began dating. It's September 6, 2006, 4:30 p.m. Madeline Shove is at work, worried because her daughter Elizabeth didn't call her after school.
Donnie answered the phone and I was like, "Where's your sister at?" And he said, "She's not home yet." And I was like, "Well, she should have been home by now."
Madeline leaves work right away and rushes home. She calls her daughter's friends to see if they know anything. Her husband Don gets home too, and they search around the house for clues as to where Elizabeth might have gone.
All her favorite clothes were there, her music, everything.
Nothing missing out of the house.
Yeah, nothing was missing.
Night is falling. Madeline calls friends and family to come help search for Elizabeth, knocking on every door, fanning out across the neighborhood. But still, no trace of Elizabeth is found.
I knew something had happened to her. So at that point, I called 911.
It's 7:30. The police show up at the house. They begin their investigation.
You know, anytime a young person is missing, a lot of times they just run away. You know, they just get mad about something.
We both know that she's not going to run away.
That's uncharacteristic of her. She was not that type of child.
The police don't take any chances. They interrogate kids who were on the bus home from school. Everyone recalls seeing her get off, even walking with her up the road.
She was really happy because her aunt was coming down.
We walked about halfway up the road and a friend of mine's brother comes with his car and picks us up. She didn't want to ride.
At that point, nobody knows anything. She just disappeared.
September 7th, a full-scale search is launched. Tracking dogs, air support, ATVs. Local TV stations pick up the story, broadcasting Elizabeth's picture.
Elizabeth Shove walked off her school bus and vanished into thin air.
She went to Lugoff Elgin High School Wednesday wearing the clothes you see here.
I just want my baby home. Does anybody see her? Please.
The sheriff has set up...
Volunteers start pouring in to help with ground search and handing out flyers. Days pass, and no new leads have been found.
You just get that policeman's feeling, that gut feeling that, you know, this really looks like it's going to turn out bad.
September 13th. It's been 7 days since Elizabeth disappeared. The search is dying out. Less and less people show up to help out. Fewer helicopters in the sky. A friend of the family is holding a vigil for Elizabeth, and Madeline is getting ready to go there. As she checks her phone for any new messages, she sees a text message from an unknown number. The message will change the course of the entire investigation.
Hey Mom, it's Lizzie. I'm in a hole in the ground near Charm Hill. It's near that dirt road where those big trucks go. Get the police. They'll be careful. He has bombs hidden.
This message gives hope to the mother, but she still doesn't know what happened to Elizabeth, or what she had to go through to send that message. September 6th, the day of the abduction, Elizabeth is walking home from the bus stop with her friends.
Bus ride home was typical as any other day. I continued walking home by myself and got up into the driveway. I could see the house. I could hear my dogs barking at me.
While she's walking down the driveway, she hears rustling leaves close by. A man walks up to her, wearing camouflage pants, a green shirt, and a hand-drawn badge that looked like the Herkshaw County Sheriff's. He says he's a policeman, that they found marijuana on the property, that her little brother is already in custody, and that she needs to come with him.
Almost immediately when he mentioned my brother, I was concerned if my brother was okay. So I agreed to approach him. I had a gut feeling that I had made a bad decision.
He puts handcuffs on her wrists and a collar around her neck with a box hanging from it. He says it's a bomb and that if she tries anything, it will detonate. Then he takes her far into the woods, away from her house.
He was asking me just like the oddest questions, if I had a phone and if I was a virgin. When I would continue to ask him where the police were or where my brother was, he had said that I was a smart girl and I probably should have already figured it out. I'm just crying, asking, don't kill me, don't hurt me. I remember being terrified.
Finally, they stop in the middle of the woods. Elizabeth fears the worst.
I thought that was where he was going to me and kill me.
The man reaches down and pulls up a hatch door from the ground, hidden among the leaves.
He had told me to go down the ladder and get into the bunker. He had like a rifle and a belt that had guns and handcuffs, and I saw a taser in it. So I knew he was well equipped. I was walking across the door above me, and I'm just sitting there while they're right above me.
Not sure if it's really happening. She doesn't risk leaving right away because he might be waiting outside. Instead, she waits until morning. September 16th, Elizabeth wakes up to find she's still alone. She doesn't waste another second and goes up the ladder. Once outside, the thought of stepping onto one of his bombs stops her from running off.
I just looked around like it was the first time I saw the outside in daytime, so it was just beautiful to see the trees and feel the fresh air again. But I couldn't hear anybody around me, so I decided to yell. Somebody finally yelled my name back. I instantly just fell to the ground and started crying. The captain ended up giving me a hug. I was in tears. I didn't know what to do. But he told me I was okay and, I was safe now. I didn't have to worry about anything.
One of our guys actually carried her up the hill to the command post where we had the ambulance standing by. When she got just about almost there, she said, "I'm all right." And she gets down and she's walking, and she's basically saying, "I'm walking out of here."
About 7:30, and I seen the white truck come up the road. I was like, oh my God. Captain Tom was very excited. He was just so ecstatic, you could tell he was crying. He told us the day I found her, and I was just like, oh my God. I was just so happy, I just could not quit crying.
The best feeling ever to hug my parents again, to just feel my mom holding me, just to know that I was with her again and she didn't have to worry about me.
In South Carolina, a 14-year-old girl is back home this evening after a horrific ordeal. Authorities say she was kidnapped by a man who sexually assaulted her and locked her.
I had to get through something like that.